Welcome back, CGC family. Hitting you with a couple of game previews here. This first one's called Wavebreak. It's a little game. Animals basically shoot at each other while using using sea-doos and other kinds of speedboats to skateboard around water. I figure I'd start off with something ridiculous, and also this is the one game where I really couldn't get a feel for what the developers intended because the servers were off. But the concept was silly, and it seems like it would be fun if it was live, so why not? Throw it in there. See, up next, this game reminds me of something, I'm going to be aging myself here, from back in the day, called Rampage. This one's called Terror of the Hemosaurus. And as I've already stated, it is literally a Rampage throwback. I think this one's about 4 players. Of course, I was by myself, so you're not going to see that here. But yeah, man, if you've played Midway's classic Rampage, RIP to Midway, died about 2 generations ago now. This is a spiritual successor, man. And this is a theme, right? You're going to see a lot of games in here that are inspired by titles from yesteryear, and old folks like myself played back in the day. And I really love the fact that a lot of the kids who grew up playing this stuff now happen to be developers, and that's probably a line I'm going to say a lot because, again, a lot of the stuff in here is really, really inspired by older games. It's like a new interesting take on old concepts, and there's a bit more you can do in this than you could do in Rampage. Like, I'm pitching people like across the map. That one's pretty new. This is an awesome game. Seems like it'll be fun, and it's actually got a pretty funny storyline, a lot of cool dialogue. I will not be spoiling storylines in these previews, by the way. You have to play them for yourself. This next one here is called Hellsinger. I hope I don't get copyright struck for the music. That's pretty cool. This is a very unique concept. So imagine Doom or Doom Eternal, but with the shooting being rhythm-based, meaning that the more on beat you are with your shots and your strikes, because this character has a sword, and there's a pretty kick-ass shotgun segment that's going to come up in one of these clips. The more on beat you are with the metal soundtrack when you pull the trigger or when you swing, the more damage you do with the weapon, and really the more in tune you get. I caught myself a couple of times getting really in tune with the music as I swung, and it was fun. It felt great. Surprisingly very polished for an indie game. Not to say that indie games generally lack some kind of polish, but this one, for as high level as its concept is, it's trying a new genre. I was very surprised at how well it played. The quality of life options. You actually have to calibrate like your headphones and your sound system to play it, because they understand that this being able to properly hear what's going on and be on beat is really a big deal with this game. It's literally the main concepts of it. So here's the shotgun part. Again, I have the music cut down really low. I'm not trying to get copyright struck. I only have a few viewers as it is so far. The last thing I need is any kind of trouble like that. But yeah, man, so far I've had a shotgun, a sword, and a head that shoots fireballs. So the weaponry is already very unique. Speaking of unique weapons, this next game is called Severed Steel. This one reminds me of so many things. It's a game EA made. I'm losing my train of thought. God, just one of you guys remember in the comments. This is an EA shooter. Really not a shooter, just kind of a parkour game. This game combines like elements of that and Max Payne, believe it or not, and a little bit of a old school shooter like Doom. And you basically run around from room to room, and they're kind of like puzzles that you have to use your agility and your speed and damn near every button on the controller is used for something. And you can do some pretty cool stunts. You can slide kick guys, you kick doors and kill guys. You can dive through these windows, which I just did on cue. I promise I didn't script that. Uh, if you couldn't tell, it's a very cool game. Kind of made me dizzy. Had a couple of graphical issues. Had to cut the video on this one short. But yeah, very, very interesting game. Seems like it's moving at a pretty high frame rate. Kept it up for the most part consistently, and just as I say that, it kind of freezes up there. You got to remember, guys, these are still demos. But it was a pretty cool concept. I liked it. Mirror's Edge. Jesus. I've been talking this whole time trying to figure out what game I'm thinking of. It reminds me of Mirror's Edge, Doom, a little bit of Doom, Quake, especially old school Quake. Very cool concept for a game. Again, the agility, the diving through windows. It's like they put everything together really well on that one. It's very polished. This next game here is called Batora. Now, people who are big fans of games like Hades might get a kick out of this one. This one's got a little bit of Hades in it, and it's also, from what I can tell, got a little bit of do I want to say that? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess it was. It has a little bit of the old school Dreamcast shooter with the splitting polarities. Boy, I am running a blank today. Has a little bit of that in it, where you switch between what I'm guessing is light and dark powers. Again, I'm not trying to give away too much of the story on this one. The last thing I want to do is be somebody who ruins the story or gets parts of it wrong. I just want to show you guys some gameplay and tell you what I thought. And this one was pretty cool, man. I don't know if it's something that I would be super eager to play, but it was very polished. Looks good. And this one, you even, can poorly solve puzzles in it like I just did right there. Very interesting game. Very cool story. Very cool concept. I think this one will go really well with the Diablo fans. Diablo fans. The Hades fans, if they get a crack at it. Let's see, this next one. This one's called Brock the Investigator. Now, this game was interesting. I'm not really a big adventure game guy. Point and click, adventure, find stuff in the room, old school PC stuff. I think they call them Scum. That's the emulator form anyway. Whoops. But yeah, it's not bad, man. The voice acting is really good. Again, a lot of these demos have really, really high quality production, from like voice acting, music, even to some of the quality of life stuff that's already in the games. I was very surprised by the demos this year. They usually aren't this polished. This year was pretty solid. Anyway, as you can see, he gets to beat up guys in the middle of solving a mystery. Again, I'm not going to give away too much of the plot, but it's pretty cool that they mix up the action with a little bit of fighting. Nothing wrong with that at all. And actually, guys, I spoke earlier about inspirations, and very soon we are going to get into some heavily inspired games, starting now. Now, this game right here may not look like much. This one's called Another Crusade. And, man, I got to tell you, if you're older like me and you played Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo, not only does this game look like it, it's got like that pre-rendered kind of Play-Doh look, but the RPG elements are very similar. Now, mind you, I'm pretty sure Mario RPG wasn't the first game in this genre to play like that. More or less was it the first game in this genre to look like that, even though that actually may have been the case. But yeah, the having the timing to get double hits on your attacks and on your defense, having a chance to nullify damage by hitting a button at the proper moments is pretty cool. Pretty cool concept. It's not something I probably would buy day one, but if it's on Game Pass, yeah, why not? I'll give it a shot. Seems like a pretty cool game. And while we're on the subject of games that are inspired by Nintendo classics. This next one is going to give people on at least the Xbox, maybe it'll come out on PlayStation, a taste of a very, very popular Nintendo franchise of recent generations. This one's called Tinyken. And it is, if you haven't figured it out by now, it is a Pikmin clone. It's a very cool looking one, right? The animation kind of looks like a Saturday morning cartoon. I don't want to say it looks like Rick and Morty, but I mean, maybe everything looks like Rick and Morty to me now. Anyway, you go around what appears to be somebody's house. Again, not going to spoil the plot for this one, even though I'm pretty new on it myself. You go around somebody's house, it's this shrunken guy, and you find these little Tinyken creatures. And they're come in different colors. So far I've seen, I think, purple and red. The red ones are bombs. And, you use these little creatures to, solve puzzles. And I'm going to guess fight enemies. I didn't fight any in my short time with the demo. I'm sure there are some on here, but there's definitely some puzzle solving. Pretty cool game. Pretty good looking game. It'll be funny if this one comes out on the Switch, actually. I can foresee that happening. It'll probably get a lot of people asking Nintendo's like, where are you at? You got independent companies making the games you should be making. Very cool concept. Nothing new, but definitely interesting. Nice twist on a old classic. Now, this game right here. This one's called Inling. And it is the last game on this video, guys. Dude, this game is a narrative-based platformer. Not unlike Ori and the Will of the Wisp or Inside. This one's going to tug at people's emotions. I'm not going to lie, guys. I couldn't get through this one. I'm not going to spoil the story for you. You can kind of see what's going on by the short gameplay clip here. But, man, I got a feeling that the choices you have to make and the consequences for said choices in this game are going to be talked about for a while. This one's probably going to win awards. And you can mark this video and know that I said that. This one comes out on July 19th, 2022, so not too far from now. And again, we could be looking at a Game of the Year contender, at least at some of the more artsy award shows. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this preview of some of these games. And I'll be hitting you up with more content very, very soon. Thanks for watching the video.